Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. Whoever said this World Cup was going to be boring? Well, we've seen some incredible results with Pakistan winning a match despite conceding 400 plus runs and everybody saying that they're not going to be able to win from here. But they did call it Kudrat Ka Nizam. Defending champions England are out of the tournament while Afghanistan at this moment have a fair chance of making it to the top four. So this has been an exciting tournament. Today, it's the battle of the heavyweights for who will finish at the top of the points table. Two batting giants, two supreme bowling attacks. It's India versus South Africa, and as you can see, number one versus number two. And you can see the excitement behind Chetan Narula, who is outside the iconic Eden Gardens in Kolkata to watch this game live. Now, this may not have a bearing on the semi-final result, Chetan, but this will be about who is better than when you compare the two best teams of the tournament so far. So, a huge match in the group stage for both these teams. What is the vibe like? I mean, you are outside the iconic Eden Gardens.
Hello, Meha. Yes, I mean, it's amazing. As I made my way out to, shoot for the show, the stadium is already half full. It's going to be an absolute sea of blue. It reminds me of the 2015 Melbourne game, India-South Africa. It was another league game that time. And we had some 85,000 fans there. And I think I counted around 80 South Africans. Today, I don't think there'll be 8 South Africans in the crowd. It's going to be an absolute chock-a-block sea of blue. And the one thing that I did notice was, you know that I'm a jersey freak. So those guys selling those jerseys outside the gates, they're going to make a killing today. 70,000 people wearing blue, buying blue, just cheering on the team. And of course, it's Virat Kohli's birthday. So loud cheers already when he walked out onto the ground to warm up. And they're going to be birthday songs and loud cheers and demands for his bowling, as Coach Rahul Dravid said yesterday. So as you mentioned, yes, the two teams have already qualified for the semi-finals, but a lot of bragging rights today on offer. There's no doubt about it that they would want to beat each other because at some point you would imagine that these two sides are thinking, okay, you know what? If we are to win the World Cup, we might have to beat this side again. And against the top four, you absolutely would want to win. You wouldn't want to go into the semi-finals thinking, okay, I lost against the top four side. India, perfect record. South Africa, they've only lost to the Netherlands. Both teams, I mean, they would be desperate for a win here. Both teams qualified already. But again, the stakes couldn't be any higher.
So it is the Boro match in Kolkata, as everybody's calling it over there. Now, Chetan has to change the location, so I'm going to let him go, but continue this conversation with Jamie. An important one. Why? Because these two teams, on paper, match each other. Throughout this tournament, they've been the best teams, 1 and 2. And today we'll decide, who goes to the top of the points table, but also when and if they meet each other again, which they will, if they have to win the final, who has that advantage having won the match in the group stage. So it is going to be a cracker of a game.
Absolutely. And look, South Africa have just lost one match. It was that upset defeat to Netherlands. And I think they've got that one bogey match out of the way. But beyond that, I mean, beyond the standings, if there's one team which has got the strongest 1 to 7, it is South Africa. I think India come very, very close. Had Hardik Pandya been around, I would have probably put them on an even keel. But definitely batting-wise, if number 6 and 7 are maybe weaknesses for India, Temba Bavuma is the one weakness for South Africa. So man-to-man, I believe firmly that South Africa have the most explosive number 7 because their number 7 happens to be Marco Jansen, who can walk out and score runs at 200, 220 strike rate. Bowling-wise, I believe, like we've discussed now for a long time, now India still have the best bowling attack, but second best in this World Cup, to my mind, are South Africa. I know Australia's late push for the semi-finals have really pushed themselves higher up, but you look at what South Africa do. Rabada, Jansen, Kutsia, Negidi, Tabrez Shamsi. There's some sound coming from somewhere. I'm sorry. Keshav Maharaj. What South Africa are doing, despite not having a Siraj, a Bumrah, or a Mohammad Shami, is they're bowling out teams well before the 50-over mark. and I think only once have they given up, around the 300 mark. So this is beyond the standings, beyond the bragging rights. This is going to be the most anticipated match because you have the two teams with the best batting and the best bowling up against each other.
Yeah, so let's set this up for you all today at the Eden Gardens. We have a blockbuster clash between the top two teams of the tournament. India are on 14 points after 7 wins versus South Africa, who have 12 from as many games. South Africa, who start with the leading run-getter of the tournament in Quinton de Kock and bat deep until 7, and who have a bowling attack that has consistently bowled out opposition teams. India, who have the best bowling attack of the tournament and who love to chase but who've been dented by the exit of Hardik Pandya from the World Cup due to injury. At Eden Gardens, with its big boundaries and slightly slow wicket, what can we expect? Will South Africa drop a pacer for a second spinner in Tabraiz Shamshi? Can Mohammad Shami continue his dream run at his home ground? Will the captain who wins the toss opt to bat? Which South African team will turn up? Will this be India's first bad day, or will Rohit Sharma's men make it 8-0? So much to look forward to. Let's go across to Chetan then and ask him the question of the toss, Chetan. Now, the two matches, it's been a low-scoring ground so far in the tournament, but I'm wondering what Rohit Sharma will look to do. Will he want to play to his advantage, to his team's advantage, or will he want to put South Africa out of their comfort zone?
It's a tricky one, Meha, really tricky one, because we have been hearing different reports about the pitch, that it's going to be a tricky pitch. It's already been a slow pitch in the previous 2 games that have been hosted here. And that question was put to Rahul Dravid yesterday, and he said, you know what, we can't really worry about the conditions. We can't really worry about the dew, the humidity, or the rain. And the humidity is really high. You can, I think, again see from my hair. It's not as bad as Mumbai, but it's still bad. You can expect that it's going to be a slow surface because wherever India have played, they put out a slow surface. In other matches, perhaps it's not as, it's not been as slower. But in this venue, the other 2 games have already, we've already seen slower pitches. Although, Bangladesh, Netherlands, you don't want to judge too much from those games. But still, it's going to be a slower pitch. Just before I walked out, I saw Tabraiz Shamsi bowling and warming up. And if Tabraiz Shamsi is playing for South Africa today, which means South Africa is going in with 2 spinners, does that put the question mark to India that you should play 3 spinners because it's a slower pitch? And then again, from a bat first or a bowl first perspective, I know we hate the dew discussion. I know we hate the lights discussion. I know chasing hasn't been that great under lights throughout the tournament. But under lights, will chasing become easier, or it's going to get tougher? Because one more thing that I really read today in the local newspaper, that there has been an algae attack at the Eden Gardens around the pitch. So the pitch adjacent to the central pitch, the match pitch, they are bare, which means the ball will be scruffed up a lot more. It's going to get softer a lot more quicker. So the algae attack on the grass has affected the surface, and that's where it could have an impact. That's why perhaps the pitch is also on the slower side. It's a bit up and down, a bit too paced. So on such pitches, you would ideally want to bat first because you can't really predict, and they are not going to improve as the match goes on. But under lights, with dew coming on, with the humidity, is this going to improve for batting? So I think those are important questions. South Africa definitely, in my opinion, would look to bat first. India perhaps also would look to bat first.
Okay, let's listen into what Rahul Dravid had to say. Let's read that, because this is a quote from Rahul Dravid about India's 6th bowler option. How big a problem could that turn out to be for India? But he had an interesting thing to say about that. He says, yes, we don't have an option to have a 6th proper bowler, but we have a wrong-footed in-swinger menace whom we can back for a couple of overs. He was close to doing so in the last game with the crowd pushing him to do so. The response of the team and the players have been really good. Then he goes on to say about, the point being how important will this be for India. He says about Temba Bavuma, he says, he said the facts and the fact is that we will not be in a position to have a proper sixth option. Obviously, he says the sixth option is something that Hardik gave us, but we've been playing the last 4 games without the sixth bowling option and have responded really well to that challenge. We've played enough games without having it, and we seem to have done pretty well. Chetan, wrong-footed in-swinging menace. I don't think a lot of Virat Kohli fans who've been wanting him to bowl would be too happy with that.
It's an apt description, to be honest. I mean, if any Virat Kohli fans actually see their idol bowling, he releases the ball when he is on the wrong foot. It is actually not the best technique. And it reminds me of a conversation 2015. I think it was a press conference ahead of the World Cup, where Virat was telling us how he had stopped bowling. Obviously, India had Suresh Raina, Ambati Rayudu. Even Suresh Raina gives you a few overs, so they didn't really need to worry about the sixth bowling option. But even the 5 bowlers were doing a good job in the 2015 World Cup. So this question was asked to him, and he said, MS Dhoni says that you're more likely to get injured bowling than picking any wickets. So please don't bowl. And so I don't bowl. And that's how he put it. But yes, his technique is all wrong when he's bowling. Let's be honest about it. He's bowling off the wrong foot. When he releases the ball, he's still on his wrong foot, and his right foot is actually in the air. So he is a wrong-footed bowler. But again, jokes apart, if you have to rely on Virat Kohli, Suryakumar Yadav and Rohit Sharma, then there's some problem in your bowling attack. And look, I'm not very comfortable with the 5 bowler option, but there's just no other option right now. India have to do it the hard way. If it's going to be a bad day, then somebody has to step up, like Shami did against New Zealand when Kuldeep Yadav was having a bad day. So it'll be coming down to how the other bowlers are performing, down to captaincy, what your options are going to be. So I think, India have to do it with their best 5 bowlers. The question to ask is, does Shardul feature in your best 5 bowlers? Does Ashwin feature in your best 5 bowlers? Or is the formula going to stay 3 pacers and 2 spinners? So I think there's not much room for leeway here for India.
Which is interesting, Jamie, given the conversation we're hearing about the surface, this being a tricky surface, 2 pace, it's going to be slow, no one quite knows. Chetan was just telling us about this algae attack, which could impact, batting on that surface. What will India look to do? Will they want to change their playing 11 at all, or from the last game, or will it be the same?
No need to change anything. You change your team when you have someone right now. I think we've got an Indian fan on our screen.
Hey Chetan, do you want to? Sorry, Jamie. Let's find out from him.
We got a bunch of them just walking around. just got a bunch of them.
Ask them what they're looking forward to today. Hi.
So Virat Kohli's birthday, right? Virat Kohli's birthday.
Happy birthday, Virat! Happy birthday, Virat! Happy birthday, Virat!
What are they looking forward to? Can you ask them?
What are you? What are you looking forward to in the game? क्या होगा? What do you think? क्या होना चाहिए?
India will match and
let's get them on the full frame.
We came for here.
Come here.
Virat. We. India.
Right, there you have it. They're just here for, like I said, people are coming here for the Virat Kohli century. It's his birthday. Of course, they want his century. So, all of them want India to win and a Virat Kohli 100. That's all they're coming here for. Over to JV.
Yes. JV, you want to continue?
Don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah. I'm saying there's no need. There's no need to change anything. And if there was a need, the need, to my mind, would be preempted by the fact that you had someone better on the bench. Does India have a better spinner on the bench? Absolutely not. Does India have better fast bowlers? Absolutely not. It's a total risk playing 5 bowlers, but the risk is now paid off for 3 matches in a row. India have no other option. You're not going to drop Shami. You're not going to drop Siraj. You're not going to drop Bumrah. You're not going to drop Jadeja. You're not going to drop Kuldeep. And the only other batting option you have is Ishan Kishan, who unfortunately, when it comes to the number 6 slot, does not have better numbers or better promise than what Sky is doing. So absolutely no need to change the 11. And even if there was a need, who do you bring in? Nobody is worth coming in off the bench right now.
Well said. Okay, let's get some of those fans back in, Chetan. it's nice to always get an idea what what the crowd is talking about. What is it that they want? So I'm going to ask them.
So these
this.
bunch of people, they don't have tickets. They don't have tickets, but they still
We want
they want tickets. But obviously they're here fully dressed up for the game. And
yes, I have the ticket.
just one gentleman does have a ticket. Yeah, you can show it. Yeah, he does have a ticket.
Extra ticket.
so
I came
let's-
for only for Virat.
So he's just come here for Virat, and yeah, he's the
I
one.
have paid 1,000 rupees for this.
Okay, congratulations. So he's going to watch the game.
Also,
yeah,
वो
he-
जो
one
दूसरे
guy
वाले
has
हैं,
tickets.
what are they going to do? What have they come for? The little
आप
kid.
क्या कर रहे हो? आप ढूंढ रहे हो? आप
Yes.
ढूंढ रहे हो टिकट्स?
ढूंढ रहे
अभी
हैं,
किसी
but
से
नहीं
बात हुआ?
मिला है।
देखो यहाँ खड़े तो नहीं मिलेगा, but you'll have to go and search. So yeah, I mean they are in search for tickets,
Yeah.
not wickets.
Yeah.
They are in search for tickets today, and but they're all dressed up nicely
Huh.
in the jerseys that are being sold outside, and yeah, they've come here to cheer for Virat Kohli on his birthday, and yeah, you can see all of them. Virat. I mean, can't move the camera, but it's all 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be a sea of Virat.
इनसे पूछो, what about the other players? There are 11 players who play. What about the other 10 players?
बाकी प्लेयर भी हैं, बाकी प्लेयर भी तो हैं 10 प्लेयर. उनमें से कौन
सबको
पसंद है?
विराट क्यों पहना है? सबने विराट की जर्सी ही क्यों पहनी है? They don't
No,
want
see,
to wear.
They don't have an option. They don't have let the jersey expert tell you that they don't have an option. These jerseys that are being sold outside the stadium, they all have Virat printed on the backs. Very rarely you see a Rohit Sharma jersey, but yeah, they do like Rohit Sharma as well. But the secondary option, the first option, as always, Virat Kohli century along with an Indian win.
Because today is a special day on Virat Kohli's birthday, so we want Virat Kohli to hit century and India should win along with match.
So India
Okay.
should win on Virat Kohli's birthday, hit a century on his birthday. It's all about Virat today here in
Trust only.
I've got to ask you this before I just continue
crossed.
this conversation about Virat Kohli's birthday and what we can expect from him, given he is right now India's highest scorer in the tournament. This is what Rahul Dravid, he had to say about Virat Kohli's milestones and what Virat Kohli might look to do on his birthday in this match. He says, I think Virat has been really relaxed, and as you can see in his performances, batting really well for us. Really keen to do well as he always is. So look, I haven't noticed anything different. He's always been the same. He's always been a professional, always been hardworking, always switched on. So nothing different. And no, I don't think he's thinking too much about 49 and 50, and probably certainly not about his birthday getting a year older. But no, I think he's been really focused on winning the tournament and playing some good cricket for us. I think he's really doing that well. Now, this question, of course, was asked with that idea, Jamie, that, is he slowing down? Is this playing on his mind? We'd spoken about this, Chetan, you and I, about, whether that's something that's playing on his mind, given how he's at times just tried everything, including contriving and missing out singles or not allowing singles to get to 100. Today, how do you see him approaching his innings if he were to get to that point? Because, there's another way of looking at it is, let's not think too much about it and it'll happen. Just like what everybody told Sachin Tendulkar before those 100
Look, whatever approach Virat Kohli has used to get to 4800 is the same approach which Rahul Dravid is mentioning, that gets India the best chance to win. So I don't really see a difference there. But yes, I mean, there have been times when he's slowed down. And then like we've discussed, all three of us, there have been times when he's not just slowed down, he has sort of contrived along with the person at the non-strikers and to get him that 100. And I have no doubt that it's the same kind of pressure which no doubt weighed down on Sachin Tendulkar because of various off-field pressures. But look, when you've still got an excess of 450 runs, when you looked like, having personally your best World Cup till date, I'm not going to fret whether it's 285s and a 90 something, because the team is 7-0. Virat Kohli's batted very, very, very well.
Yeah.
So again, let's hope he gets there. And again, if it doesn't happen in the next two matches of the league stage or in the hopefully two matches of the knockout stage, he's not going anywhere. He's going to be around for a few more years. So if people are just looking at his landmarks, don't worry. It's going to happen. This time I know I jinxed him 4 years ago in the month of March, but the number 50 will happen. I think it will happen in the next four matches. And if not, it's not like he's retiring on November 20th. So the bigger picture is that he's batting very, very well. India is benefiting from his batting. And they're 7-0 up. I think that's the bigger picture right now.
Yeah. Chetan, I've got to ask you this. Now, you were at the Wankhede Stadium, two iconic venues. You've come to now Eden Gardens. What is the difference that you see in the crowd at the Wankhede to here, just the vibe? What is different?
It's it would be saying what is different between Mumbai and Kolkata, really. Mumbai a lot more chilled out. You can say that. The vibe is there in terms of lot more enjoyment. That factor is there. And if I have to judge the two venues, Wankhede obviously probably the only international standard venue in the country, cricket venue in the country in every way, whether it's spectator vantage point, whether it's facilities for the spectators. Over the years that I've come to the Eden Gardens, I love coming here. The vantage point, the way it's built, just rising straight, not spreading out as a venue. The vantage point is really beautiful. It's like a Colosseum here. But over the years, I've found that the facilities, a couple of crows attacking from the tree, sorry. Over the years, I've found that the facilities perhaps for the spectators are not on par. But just in terms of the crowd, I think not much to differentiate. I mean, you see a lot of people in Mumbai here as well. The Bharat Army, they're just following the team around. So the vibe is going to be there, but it's just a lot more boisterous, a lot more passionate. The kind of pre-match, I think major difference is the kind of the pre-match madness, if I can say so. Last evening, 6 p.m., the Indian team arrived here for their practice, and the police was on their horses, and they were trying to just control the crowd. So minor differences, but those were the differences.
Okay. Seems like you've been surrounded by a lot more people, so I'm just going to let you handle that. But Jamie, just coming back to South Africa as well, how will they be looking at this game? India have been undefeated in this tournament. South Africa, they've just lost one game, but they know that this will come down to what happens with them against the best team, right? So in that sense, how do you see them approaching this match? And will this come down to India's bowling versus South Africa's batting and how they do?
I'll start with the last question. I would say yes, because like I said, South Africa have the strongest 1-7 in this World Cup, and India have the best bowling. If South Africa have prospered from teams putting them into bat, or they prospered from whenever Tevumba Bavuma and Aiden Markram, when Bavuma was out for a couple of matches, when they won the toss and chosen to bat, they have been the most consistent team in getting to 360, 370, 400, and I think one match even 399. So if South Africa bat, I don't think they should do anything different. They should look again to put up 400, but I think India's bowling quality will shave off at least 100 runs of whatever South Africa have in their mind. So in short, if they've been getting to 400 without any major difficulties, they're not going to get to 400 against this bowling track. Also, let's look at Eden Gardens. Yeah, Eden Gardens, I don't know how many matches it's hosted, but only 9 times has any team crossed 300 at Eden Gardens. So that, to my mind, says the average score there is not even 300. Yes, one time India got to 400, but that's one time going back, I'm guessing 40, 45 years of one day's played there. So this is not a 400 track in the best of conditions. And what I'm hearing of this Eden Gardens track, Chetan is of course there. This is not anywhere near a 400 track. So let's not expect South Africa to do it against any team on this track, and especially not against India. In regards to changes, I don't think they should do anything. I think probably looking at the conditions, if it plays to what we're hearing and seeing and reading, maybe there's a case for Tabraiz Shamsi to come in. It's a risk dropping a fast bowler, but India do have problems against spinners. So if you have a Chinaman bowler and a very, very good left arm spinner in Keshav Maharaj, maybe that's the way to go to try and stop India's big bats. I'm not sure, but maybe that's the way to go.
Also, if this is a slow pitch, Chetan, a two-pace pitch as everybody's calling it, it'll also come down to how South Africa's middle order bats against the likes of Kuldeep Yadav and Ravindra Jadeja, the Aiden Markrams, the Heinrich Klaasen, because it'll not be easy. They've done this at the Wankhede. All these scores have come at flatter pitches. So here, given that the last 2 games that have been played, one was 205, but again, Bangladesh versus Pakistan and Bangladesh versus Netherlands, you can't read too much into it, yet it's a low-scoring round.
It is a low-scoring round, and like I said, Tabraiz Shamsi, before I just came out for the show, Tabraiz Shamsi was warming up, so I think he's going to play. Look, it's not just about how the South African middle order plays the Indian bowling lineup. It's also going to be about how the Indian batting plays the South African bowling. Because if it's a two-pace pitch, it's not just about the spin. Spin is not a greater threat when the pitch is two-pace. It's actually pace, the pacers. Because the bounce they're getting, the kind of lengths they are hitting, that can give you variable bounce. The ball can stop onto you. It cannot rise as much as you would want. And I think we saw that in Mumbai. A couple of slower deliveries, a couple of deliveries which were not really coming onto the bat, and that's how Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli got out. Virat Kohli was set, and even then he couldn't read that slower delivery which came off Madhu Shankar's hand. And the Wankhede pitch was not, yes, India got 350. It was not the best Wankhede batting surface. That pitch had something in it for the bowlers. There was movement. It was two-paced. It was perhaps not as two-paced as what we expect tonight, but it wasn't the perfect Wankhede pitch that we see in IPL, etc., etc. So on a two-paced pitch, the pacers are going to be at a premium, which is why I think that India will not change its combination and continue to play the three pacers. And why I also think that the three pacers that South Africa deploy, Lungi Ngidi, Kagiso Rabada, Viral Kozia, and then there's Marco Jansen, who gets the ball to move quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's pretty humid out here today, so he is going to be a factor. I think it's going to be a battle between the two pace attacks. Who can impact the opposition batting lineup more? I think that team's going to come out on top today.
Well, and that's always an exciting battle because it'll be Marco Jansen, the left-arm pace of Marco Jansen against Rohit Sharma, Jamie. One man who's in form, the other who's lit up this World Cup for his team with the ball and with the bat, How do you see that battle playing out between Rohit Sharma and Marco Jansen?
Look, it's a massive one because the Indian teams have had problems against left-arm pacers for a long time. And here you're dealing with maybe the best left-armer in terms of new ball form. Trent Bolt has been decent. We've not seen that Trent Bolt spell yet. Mitchell Stark has been average, I would say. Marco Jansen is consistently giving wickets up top, and with that height, with that angle, very, very tough bowler to face. I would back Rohit Sharma given his brilliant form. Just 2 flops now out of 7 matches. Shubman Gill has looked decent. I would actually back them. I think the Indian cricket, India's top order really turned a corner, like we mentioned when they pasted Shaheen Shah Afridi in that second Asia Cup match, and then since then they've not had any major problems. But I think yes, in these conditions where they're batting first, more so when chasing under lights, Marco Jansen is, to my mind, the biggest test for this team. I think they'll cope with, though they've not played him, I think they'll cope with Kutsia fine. I think they'll play with Rabada, Nagini. They've played these bowlers before. I don't see problems there. But yes, a very evident threat in Marco Jansen, given his height, his skill, and his bowling form.
Okay, now Ravi Shastri and Irfan Pathan in the pitch report are saying it's a bat-first track. It looks like a better surface when compared to the last game. The pitch had a lot more spots. That pitch had a lot more spots. He says it did turn a bit, but it got better under dew. This pitch has a lot of spots at one end and not a lot from the other end. It does look slow. There will not be a lot of bounce. The batters need to adjust to this surface. Has got a nice stand and there's some grass on the surface. So both teams have got their bases covered. Now, as we wait for the toss, let's also look at the matches from last night. Who saw this one coming after conceding 401 in Bangalore? After Babar Azam chose to field, Pakistan handed New Zealand their 4th loss in a row as Fakhar Zaman hammered a record 62-ball century to take his team to a 21-run win via the DLS method, with rain conspiring against the Black Caps. This miraculous win keeps Pakistan in the hunt for the semi-finals and leaves New Zealand needing to win their last match as well. Despite the flat pitch and small boundaries, few could have envisioned that Pakistan would end up at 200 for 1 when rain officially ended the match. Asked Chetan about it. He had given up even before that. Mid-innings, he said, not a chance. But such was the genius of Fakhar, who hit the fastest World Cup 100 for Pakistan in the company of Babar Azam, who made 66 not out. Pakistan knew that a loss would end their campaign, and the task before them was a record chase after New Zealand posted 401 for 6, with Rachin Ravindra hitting his third 100 of the tournament, and Kane Williamson marking his return to the 11 with 95 off 79 balls. But what played out was surreal, as Fakhar single-handedly took on the bowlers to get Pakistan to 160 for 1 after 21.3 overs, 10 runs ahead of the Black Caps on DLS. After the resumption, the asking rate for Pakistan was 342 from 41 overs, which meant 182 runs from 197 balls. Fakhar kept on attacking and cracked 11 sixes and 8 fours in his 126 not out of 81 deliveries, which sealed a DLS win. What a match! And it's not a World Cup if Pakistan doesn't do something like this. That's just as simple as it. This just means now this World Cup has come alive. This means Pakistan can make it to the semi-finals. This means that, you know, even teams like Sri Lanka and Netherlands do have a bit of a chance, mathematical, but they are still alive in the tournament. The only team that's not alive, or actually two teams, but the only team yesterday that got that result was England. Oh my gosh, defending champions in the second match were officially eliminated from the World Cup semi-finals race after slumping to their 5th defeat in a row and 6th overall. Set a target of 287. The defending champions were bowled out for 253 to lose by 33 runs to Australia, who now sit at 3rd on the standings with 10 points. Pakistan's DLS win over New Zealand gave England the slimmest of chances of reaching the top 4 had they beaten Australia and Ahmedabad, but another poor effort with the bat squashed any such flimsy qualification possibilities. Ben Stokes and Dawid Malan made 50s. Moeen Ali got 42, but Australia were too good in the field and kept pecking England back. Adam Zampa, the hero, the player of the match, taking 3 for 21, which put him on the top of the wickets tally for the tournament, having earlier scored 29 of just 19 deliveries down the order to take Australia to that total. So there you have the two results. We're still waiting for the toss, but gentlemen, should I start with Chetan, because he's got a wry smile on his face? Pakistan doing Pakistan things. Yeah.
Yeah, just talking about Pakistan. Look, I will still contest it. A full game, Pakistan wouldn't have won. 400 each, just not possible to chase. It's just the way Pakistan would have won it. In a full game, DLS this, DLS that, good for them. They're still not going to qualify for the semi-finals. It's a very simple equation. New Zealand need to win their last game, and they are through. Pakistan are still behind them on the run rate. So, and they'll be playing England. So, in that particular sense, you know, when it comes down to net run rate, it's still. I was just having a conversation with a colleague of mine, and we were just amazed at how did Pakistan win yesterday in the manner they did, and they still find themselves in a worse position to, you know, in terms of qualification, where you need to win and you need to win bigger and this and that, and still be dependent on other side. So it's not the best position to be in. Thanks largely to Australia, because if Australia had lost, then Pakistan would have been in a much, much better position. But Australia, you know, I tweeted this yesterday, and I still very much believe this. 5 wins on the bounce for Australia. India's biggest challenge is not going to come from South Africa in that top 4. It's going to come from Australia.
Okay, with that now, guys, let's coming back to the game at the Eden Gardens, where India, congratulations, Jamie, have won the toss and have opted to bat first. That's right, Rohit Sharma winning the toss at the Eden Gardens against South Africa, and they have chosen to bat first, not taking any chances there, not caring about the dew later on or the weather. There was a bit of rain yesterday, but Rohit Sharma winning the toss, batting first, making sure that South Africa do not get that advantage, because you know what South Africa have done when they batted first in this tournament. They've just put on these colossal scores and have won and beaten teams by 100 runs and so on and so forth. So India making sure they're not giving South Africa that advantage, and they have won the toss. Rohit Sharma opting to bat first. Jamie, how do you look at this? Good toss to win for India. Batting first, always an advantage here.
Always. I'm the happiest person on this show. Let's just get that out of the way. Look, this is very, very good, because yes, I mean, we all know this is an outstanding bowling attack, but if there was one team which could, again, I'm not remotely suggesting India will concede 400 to anyone with this bowling attack. But if there's one team which stood the risk of scoring more than any other team has done, it is South Africa, more so when you're batting first. This is not a 400 track. I don't think South Africa would have gotten to 350 had they batted, but they could have gotten to 300, 315, 320, which I will maintain is beyond this chasing team's grasp. Again, I feel like a stuck record. I always say that when you have been set between 192 and 273, these are very, very gettable targets. Despite that, we've seen one match, the New Zealand match, it got close, But I will back India to chase 280. I'll back India to chase 290. If South Africa have a bad day, I will back India to stretch it to the second last over and get to 300. But what if that 5-bowler plan or unfortunate plan because of an injury to Hardik Pandya, what if it does backfire? I don't think it will, but what if? Cricket is about ifs and buts. What if? Can you chase 315? No. So very, very glad India have batted first, even beyond this result, because it will have no major bearing on where India land up. You cannot, like we've all said at some point in the last couple of weeks, you cannot be going into the semifinals operating on a chase first template. You need to put your batsmen into a habit. I would have loved to see 4 out of 9 times India bat first and set targets. Hasn't happened so far. They did it one time in the previous match. They got the chance against England, but only got 229. This is the day to just remove all doubts about your bat-first ability. You have a brilliant batting lineup, even with Hardik Pandya not there. You're facing the second-best bowling attack in the tournament. You can put up 325 if things go well. And why wouldn't you against a team which, to my mind, still cannot chase?
Yeah. Okay, so Rohit Sharma at the toss saying he'll bat first and that it was a good pitch. He says, and it wasn't to do with the pitch. We wanted to challenge ourselves. That's what Rohit Sharma says, because remember, India have mostly chased in this tournament and have won. So they wanted to challenge themselves in this match. It'll be a good game. 2 teams who played consistent cricket and have topped the table is what he says. It'll be nice to win and go on top. I love to play over here. Not just me, the entire team looks forward to play at this historic ground. We're playing the same team. Don't think we need to change anything with the way we have been playing. So India going in with the same playing 11, no changes there as expected, given how well this team has done. And I don't think at this point India would want to risk losing the momentum. So the same team, the winning team that's playing today. Temba Bavuma said that we would have batted first, but for now we need to chase, which will be a nice challenge. We know that's one area where we need to gain more confidence. We'll have to bat with responsibility. We've been putting on good, consistent performances and we look to improve going forward. They have made one change though. Gerald Kutsia, he's out, and Tabriz Shamshi, as expected, comes in place of him. Chetan, your reaction to this?
Yeah. Not surprised. I saw Tabriz Shamsi warming up when I was walking down and it's a huge walk down. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the press box. It's like on Mount Everest at the top of the stadium. But when I was walking down, Tabriz Shamsi was warming up, bowling. So I pretty much expected him to play, given the 2-pace nature, given the slow nature. They already have 3 paces. Marco Jansen is there, Ravi Rabada is there. I think they're playing Lungi Ngidi as well today. So they've got that awkward bounce. They've got the bit of a movement. They've got their spinners. I think it's a good track. And since the last couple of days, we've been talking about, obviously, batting first in this tournament. But we've also talked about the fact that these top 4 sides are now increasingly going to want to bat. We discussed that. India in the last 3 games batted first and wanted to bat first. South Africa also in the last couple of games wanted to bat first and batted first. So obviously depending on the toss. From that perspective, today also, Temba Bavuma saying that we wanted to bat first. So they've identified their strength and now going ahead in these important games, nobody's going to risk chasing because now it's qualified. Now it's all done and dusted. Now is the time where the stakes are getting higher and higher. You bat first, you put those runs on the board, and then you defend it. I think that's going to be the norm, especially with these top 4 sides as we go towards the semi-finals and the final.
It's true also, Jamie, the fact that at this point, nobody would want to lose that momentum. India have won all their matches so far. A loss here, it just sort of, breaks that rhythm for the team. We've seen what losses can do for some of the other teams. So you'd want to give yourselves the best chance, and especially not give the opposition that comfort of, knowing that, listen, we won everything batting first, so this is going to be another easy outing for us. This is you saying that, boss, we are going to keep you out of the comfort zone. Let's see you chasing. We're going to put up a big total and then we'll see what you can do.
Exactly, because Rohit Sharma is fully aware that not just in this World Cup, throughout the year, South Africa have won far more matches when batting first, whether they've chosen to bat or when opposition teams have made the mistake of putting them in. So that's one factor. India have won 7-0, but only 2 of them have come batting first. They probably want to make that ratio somewhat more on an even keel. They want to see what they can do, and then they know, yes, we have been outstandingly confident in chasing, but that's because our bowlers have given us gettable totals. What if, with 5 bowlers, we have that one bad day? What if Kuldeep has a bad day? What if one of the fast bowlers has a bad day? We do not want to be in the position where we have to chase 300 plus against this team. So it makes total sense that what Rohit Sharma has done. So I'm really, really looking forward to this match. I hope India it all works out together, and glad they made no changes, because there is no change really merited. And I know you haven't got to the predictions yet, so I'll hold off until you ask that question officially.
Okay, so first, let's tell all our viewers what has happened at the Eden Gardens. India have won the toss. They've opted to bat first. There is no change for the Indian playing 11. They've gone with the same team. For South Africa, they have made one change in getting an extra spinner in Tabraiz Shamshi and Gerald Coetzee. He sits out. That's the only change. India choosing to bat first, saying this is not because of the conditions, but because they want to challenge themselves. This is what Rohit Sharma said at the toss. And of course, he's excited about playing at this iconic ground. He said that the whole team loves to play here. Temba Bavuma also said that he would have liked to bat first, and of course, given how well they've done. But he says that chasing is something that'll be a nice challenge for them, and that's one area where they need to gain more confidence. But what this ensures is that we are going to have a cracker of a match, because the occasion, it couldn't get bigger. It is by far the biggest game of the league stage, because these are the 2 informed teams. These are the 2 teams that are right at the top of the points table. They are playing at the Eden Gardens. They, man to man, they're equal. One can't say, okay, South Africa is slightly better in this department. They've got all the bases covered. So this is going to turn out to be a blockbuster of a game. But why this occasion is also special is, for all those Virat Kohli jersey wearers, this is Virat Kohli's 35th birthday. So how is he going to celebrate it? We've talked about this on our earlier shows, that he's come close to scoring 100. And that hasn't happened. Will it happen today? Let's start with that prediction, and then we'll talk about the whole prediction of the match. Do you see Virat Kohli scoring 100 today? And don't say now we're going to put mockers on him. We're not going to. So let's start with Chetan.
No, I don't think so. I don't think the pitch is that easy to bat on. From whatever we have heard about it, if at all there is a century, then that batsman would have batted exceptionally well. I wanted to be Virat. Obviously, it's his birthday. Would be a greater gift, obviously, for himself, if he gets his 49th here in front of 70,000 fans in blue. But yeah, I don't think the pitch is going to be that easy for either set of batsmen today. I think it's going to be a bowler-heavy or a bowler-dominant game today. So I doubt we will see any hundreds today. But if we do see one, then we might as well see from Virat's bat.
Okay, Cream Bell has very strategically placed their ice cream stall behind you. The ice cream sandwich is very nice, so you can have that after this show.
But it's changed.
Right behind you.
I was standing there, and it's changed. Now it's become a parking lot. There's an ice cream stand. A lot of fans gone in. So yeah, during the conversation of our show, it's changed a lot. This area where I was standing. And
no, but you said it's hot and humid, so you can treat yourself to an ice cream sandwich, maybe, which I can assure you is very good. But yes, Jamie, Virat Kohli 100. Do you see that happening?
Like I said, I'm on the same page. It's going to be very, very tough. But if one person has the skill to do it beyond Rohit Sharma, the openers stand a better chance, because they'll get that extra margin before things get tricky. Just seeing Virat Kohli's hunger, just seeing the fact that he knows I've left 300s out there. I should have been on 52 by now. I think if anyone has to do it, and again, he's a man for the occasion. If anyone's going to take that 100% attitude and belief and add on 10% just because it's his birthday, I would say Virat Kohli. So I'm going to say, yeah, let's back him to do it.
Okay. Now let's predict the outcome of this game. I mean, I know we both will, all 3 of us will say India win, but specifically?
I think 280 would be a good target on this pitch, given it's been easy to chase under lights here, but I think having again, it's very tough to predict without having seen how the pitch is behaving. But given the two previous games, the slower pitches, I would say 275, 280 for India, and for them to win.
Jamie?
I'm going to go way above my pay grade. I'm going to say 325. And South Africa 260, 250.
Okay. All right. Tomorrow is when we'll take that up with them. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us here. Chetan, you have a good match. Hopefully it'll be, as good as it's, built up to be. Of course, it is a big match, so have a good one. That's it then. News 9 Live is what you need to subscribe to for all the latest. Enjoy the match. Enjoy your Sunday. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.
News 9 big coverage of 5 assembly polls. Mandate 2023. Israel at war. The big coverage only on News 9 Live.
Over 60 years after the India-China border war, China's speed of infrastructure building continues to concern us. The LAC between India and China is over 3,000 kilometers long. Now, over the last few years, China has built roads, airfields, bridges, military camps and tunnels along the LAC. This allows the PLA to